You know how a man feels about you by the way in which he makes you feel. A man that actually really cares about you and is interested in you is always going to be moving towards you. So a man that is interested and is commitment minded, and oftentimes the man won't really know where he feels in terms of like commitment with you the way, but he'll know as time progresses. The main thing to keep in mind though is the way in which you're feeling. Oftentimes, we'll get into a situation with someone and we'll start liking the guy and we'll be super interested in him, and all of our feelings will be evoked when we like someone. The anxious feelings and the not good feelings are an indication of his interest level in you as well. Because when a man is really interested in you and he is committed to making you his woman, and of course, there's different stages of where this applies, but we can just speak to generally for now. If a man meets you and he's interested in you, what's going to happen is he's going to want to solidify that. And the way that a man solidifies his interest in a woman and his desire is he moves towards you. And when a man is towards us, how do we feel? We feel good. It feels good to us. And so a man that is moving towards you and is communicating with you consistently, is moving things forward, is solidifying things, is going to make a woman feel good, secure, happy, peaceful, content. This is how you know someone is interested in you. So if a man is not communicating, not solidifying things, not asking you out, and you are feeling anxious, you're feeling scared, you're feeling upset, what's likely happening is he's not moving things forward. And if he is not doing those things, it's going to evoke yucky feelings within us. So, how do you know how a man feels about you? Look within yourself to see how you're feeling. You can talk about my partner and any sort of masculine man that I've been with. They make it very known and they are very committed to me feeling good. The moment that I'm not feeling good in my relationship, even though my partners can sometimes get defensive because he's a masculine man. And so, depending on my approach, can either move him into his protecting instincts away or it can move him into a defensive. And that isn't necessarily him, it's also in my approach to him. Because if I'm triggered and I'm coming to him in a way that he's taking it to mean I'm not good enough in something that he's doing, his natural response is going to be to shut down and he's going to get defensive because the man doesn't want to feel he's not good enough. So it's never just about the man. We can't put everything on the man. We have to also look at ourselves to see how am I approaching him. But any single time there's a point where I don't feel good in a relationship or I'm unsure and I communicate it, the men I've been with or masculine energy men or men that are interested, their natural inclination is to fix it and to make me not feel that way, which again brings me back to a space of security and feeling good and comfortable and happy in the relationship because I'm feeling like I'm taken care of. Don't focus so much on how much you like the guy. Because if you're focusing so much on how much you like the guy, you're missing the signs and the cues of whether he likes you. Oftentimes, when a woman likes a man so much, what tends to happen is she becomes overly invested and she becomes very attached to his communication or his actions, what he's doing, what he's not doing. And what happens with men is, and especially healthy men, masculine energy men, they can feel it. And so when a man feels that this woman is overly invested, his ego is going to kick in, so it'll feel good. But if the woman ends up liking him more, he doesn't have any sort of room to fill that gap and it's not going to feel good to him. So this is something that's really important to understand. There's a lot of unhealthy men out there. Like 90% of men are unhealthy and they want you as the woman to do the work. Men that understand my messages get that, yes, I want to be innately the one to pursue the woman. And they will feel this desire when they meet a feminine energy woman, because when they meet a feminine energy woman, the woman is warm and happy. There's a warmth, there's a laid backness, there's a flow. It's just very nice. So the man will feel good with that because the woman is giving her energy, which is really what men want. And the man will continue to move forward without the woman having to do anything to gain his interest. So a woman should never ever have to lead in a relationship at all. All. You never need to lead. And oftentimes the reason you guys are leading is because the man is not moving things forward. So if the man is not moving things forward, and then what ends up happening is we don't feel good, instead of recognizing that, oh, I don't feel good, this doesn't feel good, and like sitting with those feelings And I teach you how to do this in Secrets of the Feminine Woman. So if you guys don't have an opportunity to work with me privately or book a call with me, definitely get that book. It's going to help you so much with the healing aspect. But when a man is not moving towards us and then we're feeling yucky inside and we don't know how to self-soothe, we don't know how to emotionally regulate, what we do is we move into action. And we're moving into action because he is not moving things forward or initiating or calling. And so instead of sitting with your feelings and looking inward, because we want to look inward and assess what's happening here. In the beginning of this video, I mentioned, and I took accountability, where if I get into something with my partner or I'm not feeling good, the way in which I communicate my feelings to him is is going to dictate his response to me. So it's not all about him. That's not fair. It's not fair to put everything on a man. It's not fair that, okay, I'm triggered and I'm upset by something and then I just like emotionally react to him and expect him to make me feel better. Masculine energy men don't do that. They don't react like that. They become defensive and they pull away. So that has nothing to do with the man. That's our own personal work. We want to be in touch with the negative feelings that we're feeling in a situation and we want to assess, am I always feeling this way? Am I just a woman that's like unhappy, don't feel good within myself, and I'm looking for external validation to make me feel good about myself? Am I that type of woman? And all of a sudden, this man came into my life, he's giving me attention, and now I feel good. And now he's pulled away and I don't feel good. Wait, what's going on here? If this man never came in here, was I happy? Or was I just not happy and he came in, I felt happy, and now I'm not getting the attention, back to my default emotional state of not being happy? Or am I a woman that actually was happy? Was I always happy before this person came in? And now I'm noticing in his behaviors that these things don't feel good. Or is it my period time? Is something going on within me that's creating like a reaction? What's going on? Or am I just not feeling good because he's not investing and he is not moving things forward? And if he's not investing and moving things forward, does this mean that maybe he's just not that into me? So I want you guys to understand that when it comes to men, and I talk about masculine, feminine energy dynamics, I'm a polarity teacher. I teach about inner work and I teach about attraction. I'm very traditional when it comes to relationship dynamics, but I also offer the modern twist in that when I'm talking about traditional relationship dynamics and relational dynamics and true feminine energy, I am not talking about a woman being submissive and a gold digger. I am not that. I speak from who I am and I speak from that space, meaning when it comes to traditional dynamics and a masculine feminine energy dynamic, I know my role as a woman and I know my partner's role. That doesn't mean that I lay back and I don't do anything with my life and I'm not ambitious or driven or anything like that. No, that has nothing to do with it. That's not a feminine woman. A woman that is feminine is integrated in both of her energies. So it's really important to understand that. And there is healing that is required for us to embody that energy. When we want to be in our feminine energy, there has to be an aspect of us, which is our masculine energy, to lead our own femininity. If I was not healed in my own masculine energy and I didn't do my healing work, I would not be able to show up in the world as raw as I do. But this is my feminine energy and I'm supported by my own inner masculine. So we cannot be in our feminine energy without being integrated in our masculine energy. It's super important. So same with a masculine energy man. A masculine energy man, a true, healthy, embodied masculine man is going to be very much attracted to a feminine energy woman, but that's because he's also integrated in his feminine aspects. So even with my partner, who is very much a masculine man, what draws us together is that we're both integrated. So I have my masculine strength and he has the component of love within him. Of course, he leads with his masculine and I lead with my feminine, but we have the opposing energies within us that sort of binds us, because even in my past, I've been with masculine energy men that were not integrated, meaning they didn't have that feminine love sort of component. And so they weren't able to connect with me in the way that I needed. I need a man that is able to be there for me, hold my hand, be affectionate, touch me, to relate to me in those ways. And that is connected to that side of him or rejects that side of him is not going to be able to function well with a feminine woman. So even if he craves it, he's not going to be able to function well with it. Instead, he's going to move into criticizing her often, because when a man rejects that aspect of himself, he's going to naturally reject it in the woman. If a man doesn't integrate his own feminine and he rejects that emotional side of himself, But even in a relationship with a feminine energy woman, it's not going to work because there's going to be that aspect of rejecting her, which is ultimately rejecting herself. It's really important to look with to find out why a man is doing the things that he's doing. And that all stems from our own feelings. If you're not feeling the feelings of warmth, security, happiness, love, what are all the juicy feelings? What are the feelings that you guys would want to feel when you're in a relationship? Definitely comment if anything comes up, but likely it would be happiness, joy, excitement. You'd feel good, you'd feel beautiful, you'd feel secure. If you're not feeling these things and a man is not giving you those feelings within, and you are feeling those things as a single woman, so you don't need anyone to give you those feelings. You feel that, and he amplifies that because a relationship amplifies the feelings we already feel within. A relationship is only going to amplify the feelings that we have within ourselves. So if we're feeling happy, loved, secure, excited, those are feelings that we already feel with or without this person. This person now is expanding that feeling. So for me, in my relationship, I'm already very feminine and girly and all these things. When I'm with my partner, and one of the things I recognized when I was with him early on in our courtship was I felt even girlier. I felt even more expanded. I felt even more feminine. So let's say I'm already feeling good about myself. I feel happy. I feel secure. I feel feminine. I feel good. So the man that I'm with is going to amplify that feeling. I'm going to feel more of those feelings if he's interested in me. If I'm with someone and I'm not feeling those feelings, and instead I'm feeling anxious, I'm not feeling good about myself, I'm questioning myself, I'm feeling bad. Anxiety is a really good indicator because if we're feeling anxious from a dynamic and we're not feeling good about ourselves, that would cause me to question if this is the person for me and if this person is even interested in me. So oftentimes you guys are so wrapped up in the ego that you can't accept reality. The ego is not going to tell you reality. It's not going to tell you the truth about certain things because it doesn't want to face reality. And the problem with this is that if you don't accept that maybe this man is just not that into me, he hasn't called me, he hasn't reached out to me. So this one woman actually, what happened was she was on a dating app and she met this guy and she was not coming from a good, healthy space within. She was not feeling good about herself. And she went on the dating app from a space of, I don't feel good about myself. And of course, she's attracting men that are narcissistic. When you don't feel good about yourself and you're more on the feminine spectrum, you're going to attract narcissists. You're going to attract that codependent relationship because women that don't feel good about themselves, that are more on the unhealthy feminine spectrum, so needy spectrum. So masculine women are on the unhealthy spectrum, are also needy, but there's a different energy there. The wounded feminine woman, or a woman that is more on the feminine spectrum, she's going to come off very needy. So the man that will feed into that energy is the toxic man. The toxic man likes the attention of leechy women, and it's an unhealthy father figure, like where they they don't feel good about themselves. And so what they do is they find women that are very codependent, don't feel good about themselves, and it gives them power because now they can take care of you. They can do all the daddy stuff. Healthy men don't want to be a dad. Healthy men want a partner, want a woman that they're attracted to. They don't want a dad. So this woman, and she comes from that energy where she's very helpless woman, the helpless feminine, let's say. But what happened with this woman is she'll go on the dating app from this like needy place, that she'll meet men that are very toxic. And one of the guys that she was speaking with, they were talking for 3, 4 weeks just on the app. He never asked her out, nothing. Recently, she started working with me, and I told her to get off the dating app because we need to do her inner work before she gets on the dating app. So it might take longer because for you to attract a masculine energy man, you have to move into the empowered feminine. You have to become that so that you can attract that. So I told her to get off the dating app because we need to do our own inner work. And she asked me about this guy, and I said, he hasn't asked you out. That in and of itself is unhealthy because a masculine energy man is going to ask you out. You guys have read the books. He's going to ask you out. And she went ahead and deleted the app. All good. Then she wasn't feeling good one day. And so what she did, and she didn't hear from him. So what she did was she went and found him on LinkedIn and then she messaged him. So you see, this woman already wasn't feeling good. He wasn't asking her out. And so if our starting point in our emotional state when we're starting off dating or meeting someone is insecure, unhealthy, we don't know how to emotionally regulate, we don't feel good about ourselves, and then we meet a man, it's not that we are not feeling good because he's not asking us out. In this situation, we already don't feel good. We're not feeling good already. So he's just mirroring that. And he's amplifying that feeling that we already feel of not feeling good. He's amplifying that feeling. So remember, I said that the feelings that a man is going to bring out in us, it's going to be an amplification of those feelings. So either he's going to make us feel better about ourselves or he's going to make us feel worse, but it's going to always be bigger. And so then they started talking because every single time that she didn't feel good, she would message him. He still didn't ask her out. I said to her, "How does this make you feel good?" So yeah, he's responding to you, but he's not messaging you first. And even if he does message you first, you're the one that went and looked for him after you turned the dating app off. If you're capable of doing that, so is he. So it shows you where his interest level is. And in this situation, this has nothing to do with the man here. This is a woman's own inner work. She's not feeling good. And so she's going on the dating app and she's attracted to these sort of men that are just amplifying and mirroring to her where she's at. That's why it's so important to do your own inner work before you move into dating. Because even if you attract someone that's more in his masculine energy, which is very unlikely to be quite honest with you, because a man that's in his masculine energy is healthy and his frequency is going to be in a different state than where your frequency is going to be at if you haven't done your inner work. You'll miss each other. So let's say you're going in a grocery store and there's a man that's healthy and he's empowered and he's masculine. He's done his inner work. He's just an empowered man. And then we're here, we haven't done our inner work. We don't feel good about ourselves. We're oscillating and our frequency is that it is completely different. So we'll walk by each other and we'll completely miss each other because we're not in the same frequency. And to get to a higher frequency, we have to do our inner work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and I will connect with you soon. Love you. Bye.